Okay, so the title is kinda clickbait. So the last place my family lived in had quite a few experiences, to say the least. Enough to make more videos. Anyways, this video is going to be about the time I was attacked by Mothra. Well, not the actual Mothra. That would be a bit too far-fetched. No, I actually mean a freaking huge moth that somehow snuck into my room. Okay, so let's set the picture. I was sitting on my favorite recliner in my room. A recliner that was thrown out. Thanks, Mom. I mean, it was old, but I don't care. It was comfortable. Ever watch Frasier? It's not about how it looks, it's about how comfortable you are. Back to the story. I was drawing and listening to music, but I started to hear a strange noise. So I paused the music for a little bit, and the noise just disappeared. I kept it paused for a little longer, and that freaking sound came back. Then I realized that sound was coming from above me. And when I looked up, there was this huge freaking moth flying around the ceiling fan. After seeing that thing, I immediately went to grab a shoe to slay it. I don't even remember how long I was in there trying to kill it. That thing was resilient. It just refused to die. A while later, my younger brother walked in. Did he even knock? He opened the door and was like, "Hey, what you doing?" Only to see me agitated and tired. So obviously my response was, "Close the door and help me kill this thing." What thing? Holy crap. There was a bright side to this though. You see, we saw this kill as redemption. Because a few years prior to this encounter, in a different house, we both tried to kill a giant moth that broke into our house. But it hid and I don't think we ever found it. Come to think of it, what if this bigger moth was the same one? And it just hid in my crap before we moved to hibernate and evolve into its perfect form. Well, perfect form or not, we weren't about to let it escape its fate. We both tried to corner it, but that thing was made of sterner stuff. Anytime you'd get close to it, it would fly at your face, then up to the ceiling fan. And it was so big, you could hear its wings flapping like a friggin' bat. So we were kind of freaked out, but we couldn't let our fear keep us from glory. But since it was always out of reach, we had to figure out how to kill it from a distance. So I grabbed my golf club that I always keep near my bed, and I just shoved my shoe on top of it to form the ultimate weapon for killing bugs. And that thing served me well for years to come. So we had a whole strategy planned out. My brother would poke the fan with a broomstick to scare it off. Then we'd whack it with our shoes. And if it landed someplace out of reach, well, I'd have that covered. Once the plan was put into action, it just didn't really work out the way we thought it would. My brother jabbed at the fan blade to scare it off, and the light went out. Okay, so you know when your light bulb is loose, the slightest touch can just cause it to turn off? Well, that happened to this light. Like, a lot. So now it was pitch black in the room. My room had no windows, by the way, which now makes me question how it got in my room in the first place. Anyways, it was too dark to see. All we heard was a bat-sized moth flapping around our heads, and I'm trying not to hit my brother in the head with my golf club. Don't need another baseball incident. I yell at my brother, telling him to hit the fan again, hoping that it would turn back on. When he hits it, the light just starts flickering, making the whole experience even scarier. So he hits it again out of fear, and finally the light stays on. And we see the most beautiful sight ever. The moth, just sitting on the wall. My wall. I lift my shoe club and slam it against the wall with all my strength. Then just to be sure, I scrape it, which then left a dead moth's trail on my wall. And it was too high for me to reach, so I kind of just left it. I didn't feel like going to get a stepladder, and I figured, you know, it's a trophy of my victory or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy. Okay, maybe the moth didn't get a better funeral than what some of you might have hoped for. Fact of the matter is, I'm pretty sure it's still on the wall.